Let's talk about walking the perimeter in your life. This idea comes from Nehemiah, the first couple chapters in that book. Let me just catch up on the story. Nehemiah was a cupbearer for a foreign king, and God had stirred his heart for Jerusalem, which was in ruins, back in chapter 1. And so Nehemiah left his job and went to Jerusalem to rally Israel to build the wall. He ends up getting them to rebuild the wall within 52 days, which is just an incredible story. You can go back and read this in Nehemiah. It's worth reading if you've never done that before, but let's just apply this to our own lives, because here's what happens in the story. He gets to Jerusalem, and it says that when he got there, he went out by night by the valley gate to the dragon spring and to the dung gate. And he says, I inspected the walls of Jerusalem that were broken down and its gates that had been destroyed by fire. In verse 15, it says, then I went up in the night by the valley and inspected the wall, and I turned back and entered by the valley gate and so returned. So what he's doing here is the first thing he does when he gets there, he's about ready to do this incredible thing. He's going to rebuild the walls. He's actually going to rally Israel to rebuild the wall of Jerusalem. But I love what he does here. The first thing he does is he walks the perimeter of Jerusalem to assess the damage and to see what the problem is and to see how huge the task is for this city. And here's how this can relate to you today. We're talking about walking the perimeter in your life. What a great example this was for Nehemiah to do this. You know, in your own life, to walk the perimeter for your family. You know, if you're a husband, if you're a father, if you're a couple listening to this, you know, walk the perimeter in your life and ask yourself the question, where is this broken? Where's my life broken? Where's my family broken? Evaluate the fruit. One of the easiest ways to do this is by evaluating the fruit in your life, or evaluating the fruit in your home, in your family life. Galatians 5:22 says this, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Do you ever do that? Do you ever walk the perimeter in this regard? Do you ever pause on this verse? This is a great exercise, and just say, is there love in my life? Is there joy in my life? What about peace or these other things? You know, it's really good to do this, to always be assessing, where is the wall broken down in my life? And then take the challenge. You know, Proverbs 25:28 says it like this, a man without self-control. That's one of the fruits that made the list there in Galatians. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls, just like in Nehemiah's day in Jerusalem. Walk the perimeter of your life. Take the challenge. Walk the perimeter. Ask yourself, where do I need to grow? Where are my walls broken down in my personal life or my family life? And what practical thing can I do to fix it? And what else does God's word say about this in my life? Why don't you do that? Take that challenge.